अच्छा जी, लास्ट टाइम मैंने बात की थी कि एक जो जनरल कम्युनिकेशन सिस्टम है उसकी ब्लॉक डायग्राम हमने देखी थी, और जो इसके इम्पोर्टेंट ब्लॉक्स हैं जिनको हम एसेंशियल ब्लॉक्स कहते हैं, जिनके बगैर कम्युनिकेशन इनकम्प्लीट है, जिसमें फॉर्मेटिंग है, पल्स मॉड्यूलेट है, बैंड पास मॉड्यूलेट है, डिटेक्शन है और एट द एंड फॉर्मेटिंग है। अब हमारी इस बुक की अरेंजमेंट इस तरह से है कि पूरा एक एक चैप्टर इन एसेंशियल ब्लॉक्स के ऊपर है। एक चैप्टर हमारे पास फॉर एग्जांपल फॉर्मेट का है, बेस बैंड मॉड्यूलेशन का, फिर पल्स मॉड्यूलेशन का, फिर बैंड पास मॉड्यूलेशन का। तो ये कंप्लीट चैप्टर्स हैं जिनको हम डिटेल से पढ़ेंगे। उसके बाद फिर ये जो ऑप्शनल ब्लॉक्स हैं जिसमें सोर्स इनकोडिंग है, इंक्रिप्शन है, चैनल इनकोडिंग है, मल्टीप्लेक्सिंग, डीमल्टीप्लेक्सिंग एटसेट्रा, ये तमाम ऑप्शनल ब्लॉक्स जो है ये फिर हम लेटर ऑन जो है वो डिफरेंट टॉपिक्स के अंदर डिस्कस करेंगे। तो सबसे पहले अगर हम कम्युनिकेशन सिस्टम की बात करें, बेसिक डिजिटल कम्युनिकेशन सिस्टम में ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कौन कौन सी हो रही है। ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन का क्या मतलब होता है कि एक फॉर्म से दूसरी फॉर्म में चेंज होना। ठीक हो गया? चाहे वो डाटा है, चाहे वो सिग्नल है, चाहे वो इंफॉर्मेशन है, उसको जब हम एक फॉर्म से दूसरी फॉर्म में चेंज करते हैं तो उसको कहते हैं ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन। तो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कहाँ कहाँ हो रही है? एक हो रही है फॉर्मेटिंग ब्लॉक में, सोर्स कोडिंग ब्लॉक में, ट्रांसफॉर्म सोर्स इंफॉर्मेशन इनटू डिजिटल सिंबल्स डिजिटाइजेशन में। तो अगर हम यहाँ पे देखें इस ब्लॉक में ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो रही है। ठीक है, फिर डिजिटलाइजेशन में ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो रही है। आपको पता है कि हम अपने सिग्नल को जब डिजिटल सिंबल्स में कन्वर्ट कर रहे हैं, डिजिटल सिंबल्स क्या है ये हम डिटेल से जो है वो लेटर हाफ में भी पढ़ेंगे। सिलेक्टेबल कंपैटिबल वेवफॉर्म्स, मैचिंग फंक्शंस, जब हम एक स्पेसिफिक सिग्नल को एक वेवफॉर्म में कन्वर्ट कर रहे होते हैं उस वक्त कैसे हम सिग्नल को ट्रांसफॉर्म करते हैं, वो भी एक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है। फिर इसी तरह introduces redundancy which facilitates accurate decoding despite errors। तो इसी तरह जब हम डिजिटल कम्युनिकेशन में सोर्स एनकोडिंग, चैनल एनकोडिंग, डिकोडिंग पढ़ेंगे तो सब भी हम देखेंगे कि आपके कुछ बिट्स एक्स्ट्रा ऐड हो रहे हैं जो कि बेसिकली आपके ओरिजिनल सिग्नल को ट्रांसफॉर्म कर रहे हैं इनटू अनदर सिग्नल। तो ये बेशुमार ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है जिनको हम साथ साथ जब जरूरत पड़ेगी तो देखते रहेंगे। इट इज एसेंशियल फॉर रिलायबल कम्युनिकेशन। कम्युनिकेशन तो आप लोगों ने इंफॉर्मेशन एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पहुंचाने को कहते हैं कम्युनिकेशन। अब वो कम्युनिकेशन रिलायबल भी हो सकती है और अनरिलायबल भी हो सकती है। क्या मतलब है रिलायबल और अनरिलायबल का, तो बता सकते हैं? व्हाट इज रिलायबल कम्युनिकेशन? रिलायबल किसी चीज को कब कहते हैं? जब आप उसके मकसद को पूरा कर रहे हैं। व्हेन यू आर फुलफिलिंग द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स इट इज कॉल्ड रिलायबल। तो रिलायबल कम्युनिकेशन की क्या रिक्वायरमेंट होगी? जी, व्हाट इज रिलायबल कम्युनिकेशन? वो कम्युनिकेशन जिसमें आप अपने सिग्नल को कंप्लीटली ट्रांसमीटर साइड से रिसीवर साइड पे सेंड कर रहे हैं, इट इज कॉल्ड रिलायबल कम्युनिकेशन। ठीक है, तो अब आपने जब कम्युनिकेशन रिलायबल करनी है तो व्हाट आर द रिक्वायरमेंट्स? First of all, modulation and demodulation. Without modulation and demodulation, communication is not reliable. Why? What are the benefits of modulation and demodulation? ये हम next chapters में study करेंगे। Modulation is the process of modifying the information signal to facilitate transmission. We cannot transmit a signal without modulation. For example, I am speaking, मैं इस सिग्नल को ट्रांसमिट नहीं कर सकता जब तक मॉड्यूलेट नहीं करूंगा। अगर हम ब्रॉडली देखें तो मॉड्यूलेशन इज बेसिकली मॉडिफिकेशन चेंजिंग। आई हैव टू चेंज माय ओरिजिनल स्पीच सिग्नल इनटू समथिंग एल्स बिफोर ट्रांसमिटिंग इट। व्हाट इज दैट समथिंग एल्स? वी विल स्टडी इन नेक्स्ट चैप्टर्स। सिमिलरली डीमॉड्यूलेशन, व्हाट डज डीमॉड्यूलेशन डू? इट रिवर्सेस द प्रोसेस ऑफ मॉड्यूलेशन। नाम से भी आपको पता चल रहा है, modulation on the transmitter side, you can see here modulation is on the transmitter side and demodulation is on the receiver side. It involves the detection and retrieval of the information signal. It has different types of modulations: coherent demodulation, coherent modulation, and similarly non-coherent modulation. And we will see that coherent modulation requires a reference information for detection. Reference means we have to synchronize our information with some reference, and similarly in non-coherent it does not require any synchronization. Basic digital communication transformations involve, for example, coding, decoding. We have seen in the block diagram, when we encode a signal and decode a signal, basically we are transforming our signal into another form. It translates information bits to transmitter data symbols, techniques used to enhance information signals so that they are less vulnerable to channel impairment. Now we know that channel has different effects. आपने एक वायरलेस चैनल से सिग्नल को ट्रांसमिट किया, whether it is wired or wireless, there are many impairments effects on the signal, for example noise, fading, jamming, interference. हाँ जी, ये जो चार terms है, noise is any unwanted signal. Fading, what is fading? Can anyone tell me what is fading? What does fading cause? Basically, fading means the reduction in power of the signal. You are transmitting a signal, but when you transmit it, for example, you have a higher power. With time and with distance, the power of the signal reduces. This is called fading. So, similarly, jamming. What is jamming? Jamming means that a transmitter also blocks other transmitter. For example, we are transmitting a signal, but another transmitter transmits a high frequent, high power signal in our direction, which reduces the power of our signal, which suppresses our signal. It is called jamming. Jammer. आपने सुना होगा jammer. Jammer क्या करता है कि ओरिजिनल सिग्नल को जैम करता है ताकि जो सिग्नल है वो रिक्वायर्ड यूजर तक ना पहुंच सके. ठीक हो गया? It is called jamming. Similarly, interference. Interference is also unwanted signal which is produced with some intentions. ठीक है? Noise तो always exist करता है channel में, environment में. Fading power reduction होती है. Jamming एक और ट्रांसमीटर है सिग्नल को रिड्यूस कर रहा है, और इंटरफेरेंस एक और ट्रांसमीटर या एक और सिग्नल है जो कि नॉइज को प्रोड्यूस कर रहा है. ठीक है, तो डिटेल से हम ये चीज़ें भी बाद में देखेंगे. तो कोडिंग डिकोडिंग में डिफरेंट हम टाइप्स यूज करते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल 2 कैटेगरीज. वेव फॉर्म कोडिंग, इट प्रोड्यूसेस न्यू वेव फॉर्म्स विद बेटर परफॉर्मेंस. ये डिटेल्स हम बाद में चैप्टर नंबर 6 में देखेंगे. इट इन्वॉल्व्स द यूज ऑफ रिडंडेंट बिट्स. रिडंडेंट मीन्स एक्स्ट्रा बिट्स. जब भी आपने एक सिग्नल को कोड करना है तो कोड करने में आपको एक्स्ट्रा बिट्स, एक्स्ट्रा इंफॉर्मेशन रिक्वायर्ड होगा. सो इट मीन्स दैट व्हेनेवर यू कोड अ सिग्नल, the size of your signal is increasing. It involves the use of redundant bits to determine the occurrence of error. और एक्चुअल जो रिक्वायरमेंट होती है हम पढ़ेंगे कोड्स की, वो हम चाह रहे होते हैं कि अपने सिग्नल में एरर ना आए, और करेक्शन के लिए भी हम एक्स्ट्रा बिट्स उसमें डालते हैं. मल्टीप्लेक्सिंग. व्हाट इज मल्टीप्लेक्सिंग या मल्टीपल एक्सेस? It means that you are using one channel or one transmitter to transmit signal from multiple users. ठीक है, ये कैसे पॉसिबल होगा, इसकी भी टेक्निक्स हम देखेंगे बाद में. तो ये सारी की सारी जो डिस्कशन हो रही है इसमें ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन इन्वॉल्व है. आपका ओरिजिनल सिग्नल, उसकी हालत, उसकी शेप, the size, the function of the original signal will be changed in large extent whenever signal passes through these transformations. Okay. Similarly, frequency division, multiplexing and multiplexers, these techniques are used for multiplexing. Broadly, if we talk about the different blocks formatting, it has different types: vector coding, sampling, quantization, pulse code modulation. All of these steps are involved in formatting. Similarly, in source coding, predictive coding, block coding, variable length coding, these all are involved in source coding. In baseband signaling, we will see that PCM waveforms exist, NRZ, RZ, and memory pulse modulation. Similarly, in equalization, there are MLSC equalizers, etc. So, all of these blocks are basically from our block diagram. This block diagram. and the different details of each block, each process is indicated here. Coherent bandpass signaling, its types are given here. So this basically page, this slide shows the transformations involved throughout our communication system. For example, if you talk about spreading, we will see that spreading means that we are spreading our signal in frequency domain. If our original signal has a bandwidth of 10 hertz, then we spread our signal in, for example, 100 hertz. So spreading, we have direct sequence spreading, frequency hopping spread spectrum, time hopping, and etc. So this is overall, you can say, a bit summary of our main blocks. Performance metrics. Hani, whenever we talk about a signal transformation, information, we have to measure our signal. So the performance metrics means what are the quantities, how are they measured. In analog communication systems, we already learned the difference about analog and digital communication system. आज को बता सकते हैं what's the difference between analog signal and digital signal? Anyone?
Digital signal quantized along y-axis.
People, right?
Analog signal continuous होता है along y-axis.
Along y-axis, शाबाश. It has infinite values along y-axis, whereas digital signal has finite levels along amplitude or y-axis.
Y-axis.
So what I am saying here is that analog communication system has a different performance metrics as compared to digital communication systems. For example, metric of analog communication system is fidelity. Fidelity means what is the change in the original signal. For example, if we say that M signal was transmitted and at the other end we receive M hat estimate of the original signal. So this is called basically fidelity. Let's say this was our original signal and at the other end we received this type of signal. So this is fidelity, our signal has changed. So for measurement of this fidelity, this change, we use SNR, signal to noise ratio. SNR stands for signal to noise ratio. What is signal to noise ratio? We will see in other chapters, but here just to tell a bit detail, signal power divided by noise power. Ratio means divided by. So if we divide our original signal power to the noise power, it is called SNR. So SNR is a typical performance metric in analog communication system. Whereas in digital communication systems, what we have done, we have changed our signal in the form of bits. In analog, we have values, whereas in digital, we have changed it in the form of bits. Now, when we are using bits, we have to measure bit rate, data rate. Metrics are data rate, R, data rate, BPS means bits per second. Similarly, we use probability of bit error means, अच्छा यहाँ पे देखें आप मेजर कर रहे हैं कि शेप में क्या चेंज आई है, उसकी पावर में क्या चेंज आई है. जब हम बात कर रहे हैं बिट्स की डिजिटल कम्युनिकेशन सिस्टम की, वी आर मेजरिंग दैट हाउ मेनी बिट्स आर इन एरर. फॉर एग्जांपल 100 bits were transmitted, but at the other end we get 90 bits accurate and 10 bits error. So we can find the probability of bit error. You got the point? And we represent the probability of bit error by PB. P means probability, and small subscript b means bit. Probability of bit error, it means that probability that b hat is not equal to b. B was the original bit and b hat is the estimate. So probability of the original bit. Similarly, we will see that in digital signal, we talk about symbols. What is symbol? Symbol is nothing, just a group of bits. And the symbols already known at the receiver Without noise, distortion, or synchronization problem, we will never make bit errors. So these performance metrics are used: SNR and probability of bit error. The main points: transmitters modulate analog message or bits in case of a digital communication system or transmission over a channel. Receivers recreate signals or bits from received signals. And mitigate means to nullify the channel effects. It removes the effects of the channel. Performance metric for analog system is fidelity, and for digital system it is the bit rate and error probability. अब इतनी डिस्कशन के बाद now we are at the point that why do we use digital communications. अच्छा, एक बात है डिजिटल सिग्नल की और अभी बात हो रही है डिजिटल कम्युनिकेशन की. अगर हम बात करें डिजिटल सिग्नल की, तो डिजिटल सिग्नल मींस द सिग्नल जिस तरह अभी आपने बताया which has discrete levels. डिजिटल कम्युनिकेशन का मतलब है ऐसी कम्युनिकेशन जिसमें डिजिटल सिग्नल्स यूज हो रहे हैं. ऑलराइट, डिजिटल कम्युनिकेशन मींस ऐसी कम्युनिकेशन जिसमें डिजिटल सिग्नल्स इन्वॉल्व हैं. और जाहिर है कि डिजिटल सिग्नल जहाँ पे इन्वॉल्व होंगे उनको प्रोसेस करने के लिए हमें डिजिटल सिस्टम चाहिए होंगे. यानी अगर मैं कहूँ कि मैंने एनालॉग कम्युनिकेशन करनी है, तो एनालॉग कम्युनिकेशन के लिए मुझे डिजिटल सिस्टम यूज करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. हाँ, अगर मेरे पास सिग्नल जो है वो डिजिटल फॉर्म में, आई कैन नॉट प्रोसेस इट विदाउट अ डिजिटल सिस्टम, कंप्यूटर, FPGA प्रोसेसर एटसेट्रा. तो जब हम डिजिटल कम्युनिकेशन की बात करते हैं, इसका मतलब है डिजिटल सिग्नल्स इन्वॉल्व हैं, और डिजिटल सिग्नल्स इन्वॉल्व हैं तो वी हैव टू यूज डिजिटल सिस्टम्स. द क्वेश्चन इज व्हाई डिजिटल, व्हाई वी यूज डिजिटल कम्युनिकेशन. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, it is easy to regenerate the distorted signal. Last time भी हमने देखा था, we have seen last time that it's easy to regenerate a digital signal by using regenerative repeaters. अगर आप देखेंगे जो मोबाइल टावर्स हैं, these mobile towers are basically regenerative repeaters. You are calling from here to, for example, Lahore. Now the signal is passing through different BTS, base transceiver stations. These mobile towers are basically called BTS, base transceiver stations. So when they pass on through one BTS to another, these BTS are basically regenerative repeaters which regenerate the signals. So regenerative repeaters along the transmission path can detect a digital signal and retransmit a new clean noise-free signal. These repeaters prevent accumulation of noise along the path. This is not possible with analog communication systems. Digital communication system has a two-state signal representation, so we can easily regenerate it. The input to a digital system is in the form of a sequence of bits. Always digital systems have input in the form of digital signal, which is bits, which can be binary or emery. If we have only two states, it's called binary, and if we have more than two states, then it is called emery. For example, if I draw here, this is a two-state signal, it is called binary, and this is a, for example, three-state signal, it is tertiary, and so on. Similarly, digital communication systems are immune to distortion and interference. Digital communication is rugged in the sense that it is more immune to channel noise and distortion. So the noise and distortion effects have less effect on digital communication systems. Also, hardware is more flexible. आप लोगों ने देखा होगा कि लेट्स से कि मेरे पास ये लैपटॉप है, इस लैपटॉप में, इस कंप्यूटर में मैं कम्युनिकेशन कर सकता हूँ ईमेल के थ्रू भी, मैं कम्युनिकेशन कर सकता हूँ वॉइस के थ्रू भी, मैं कम्युनिकेशन कर सकता हूँ इंटरनेट के थ्रू भी. आई कैन कम्युनिकेट फॉर एग्जांपल बाय यूजिंग अ सिग्नल ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसी 100 हर्ट्ज, 200 हर्ट्ज, 300 हर्ट्ज. I don't have to redesign my hardware every time. So hardware is more flexible. जबकि इसके मुकाबले में लेट्स से यू हैव एन एनालॉग कम्युनिकेशन सिस्टम. If you want to communicate on, for example, 100 hertz, you need a specific hardware for that. Now, if one says, no, I want to communicate on 200 hertz, so you will have to change your hardware. You got the point? That hardware is
Yes.
more flexible in case of digital communications. Digital hardware implementation is flexible and permits the use of microprocessors, mini processor, digital switching, and VLSI systems. It has shorter design and production cycle. If I want to produce a digital communication system, it's much easier to design, produce, and fabricate it if our system is digital as compared to analog. In case of analog communication system, it's very much difficult to communicate it. एक मिनट जरा मुझे दीजिएगा ब्रेक एक मिनट. जी, तो if we talk about cost is also low as compared to analog communication system. The use of VLSI in the design of components and systems have resulted in lower cost. You have seen that if we talk about mobiles 10 years ago, जो मोबाइल आपको फॉर एग्जांपल 50,000 को कॉस्ट करता था, नाउ द सेम मोबाइल यू कैन परचेज इन फॉर एग्जांपल 10,000, 5,000. So the cost of electrical digital system is reducing. Laptops, the prices are reducing. So digital systems have reduced price due to their low cost VLSI systems. It's easier and more efficient to multiplex several digital signals. Now the most advantageous point is written here, that if you want to multiplex, you want to communicate multiple signals at a single line, it's easier to use digital systems. Digital multiplexing techniques include time and code division multiplexers, which are easier to implement than analog techniques such as frequency division multiplexers. So these are some of the advantages which are listed here as compared to analog communications. Some other include, we can combine different signal types, data, voice, text. Now I am typing something, I am drawing, I am speaking. All formats are being sent via this digital communication system. Data communication in computers is digital in nature, whereas voice communication between people is analog in nature. The two types of communication are difficult to combine over the same medium in the analog domain. If we talk about analog communication system, we cannot combine different types of information. For example, data, voice, and text cannot be combined. Using digital techniques, it is possible to combine both formats for transmission through a common medium. Encryption and privacy techniques are easier to implement. It has a better overall performance. Digital communication is inherently more efficient than analog in realizing the exchange of signal to noise ratio for bandwidth. Digital signals can be coded to yield extremely low rates and high fidelity, as well as privacy. Now, we were just talking about the benefits, the advantages. Everything has some trade-off. Where there are advantages, some disadvantages also exist. What are the disadvantages? Number one, it requires reliable synchronization. The most difficult part of a digital communication system is synchronization. If you see this block diagram, you see wherever the signal is digital, we require synchronization here. So synchronization means to match the timing. We will see in detail. Secondly, digital communication requires analog to digital conversion at a higher rate. Analog to digital conversion, which is not a simple step, is required here. It also requires larger bandwidth. Now, as we can see that bits are changing continuously, so change is called frequency, and frequency means bandwidth. So change means frequency, and frequency means larger bandwidth. Non-graceful degradation. Non-graceful degradation means, for example, if we see an analog signal, this is an analog signal. If noise affects its value can be changed, for example, like this. This is called degradation. If we talk about a digital system, digital signal, this. If the signal changes, what can be the change? The 1 can be changed into 0, 0 can be changed into 1. देखिए एक डिजिटल कम्युनिकेशन सिस्टम में ये चेंज आ सकती है कि जो 1 था वो 0 बन जाए और जो 0 था वो 1 बन जाए. तो ये एक बहुत बड़ी चेंज है ना. यू आर सेइंग यस, बट चेंज होकर आपको इन्फॉर्मेशन क्या मिली? नो. समझ आ रही है बात?
Yes, sir.
So this is
Yes,
called
sir.
non-graceful degradation. This is the problem with digital communication system. Whereas analog communication system, what will happen? For example, if we had 1 here, now it has been changed into 1.7, for example. It's not total change. So this is called graceful degradation. Whereas in digital communication system, we have non-graceful degradation. Performance criteria, which is measured in terms of probability of error or bit error rate, is difficult to define for digital system. So these are some of the disadvantages which occur with a digital communication system. जी क्वेश्चंस कोई हैं यहाँ तक तो पूछें आगे चलने से पहले. Any questions before starting? Now, goals in communication system design. Whenever you are designing something, you have some goals in your mind so that you design according to that optimum achievements. First of all, to maximize transmission rate. Yes, you want to transmit data at an optimum rate. Maximum transmission rate, you can see, for example, if you are using internet, if you have a low speed, you get disruption in your signal, you cannot communicate properly. Whereas if your transmission rate is high, you can achieve a good quality video call. Number 2, maximize system utilization. You say system utilization, you have to increase it. Transmission rate, you have to increase it. System utilization means, for example, I am using a communication system which has a bandwidth of 100 Hertz. If I am only transmitting data of 50 Hertz, then I am not completely utilizing my system. I am wasting 50 Hertz bandwidth. So maximize system utilization U, minimize bit error rate PE. PE, bit error rate, should be minimized. It's always causes problems. The more the bit error rate, the poor is the quality of communication. So we have to minimize it. To minimize required system bandwidth, yes. Let's say if I say I have a communication system and it needs 1000 megahertz bandwidth. So always remember that bandwidth is equivalent to money. For example, we have 4 operators, Warid, Ufone, Telenor. Now these mobile operators have purchased bandwidth. They have purchased bandwidth to utilize our environment. For example, Ufone is using 100 to 200 Hertz. Telenor is using from 300 to 400 Hertz, etc. Now each operator has purchased the bandwidth. So More the bandwidth required, the more they have to pay. The less the bandwidth required, the less they have to pay. So our requirement is to minimize the required system bandwidth. It should be W should be minimized. Next, to minimize system complexity, the more the complex system, the more the cost increases. So reduce the complexity. And to minimize required power, EB over N naught means bit energy over noise energy. It should be reduced. We should require less energy to complete our communication system. So these are some of the challenges which are to be taken care whenever we are communicating or we are designing a communication system. You all got this?
Yes, sir.
So, comparative analysis of analog and digital communications. If we see digital signal nomenclature, how is a digital signal? Information source, how we give information is discrete. For example, keyboard we are using. If we are using analog source, then we have to use a microphone. If you are using characters in an email, number of an alphanumeric symbol, it will be from A to Z or 0 to 9. Characters can be mapped into a sequence of binary digits using one of the standardized codes. Now, whenever we press A, Z, or anything, then we are using some coding which can be, for example, ASCII code or EBCD codes. These are some of the coding techniques. Digital messages, if we are transmitting a digital messages constructed from finite number of symbols. For example, printed languages consist of 26 letters, 10 numbers. Or we are using Morse code. In Morse code, we transmit a mark and space. This is an older scheme in which we represent a mark and a space, then a mark, then a space. This coding scheme was used. For example, still Railway Lines uses this coding for communication. This is a digital message. Memory signals which have more than 2 levels, and digital waveform, it can be in the form of current or voltage waveform. And digital signal has a bit rate, actual rate at which information is transmitted per second. Similarly, baud rate, it represents the rate at which signaling elements are transmitted. For example, if you talk about a symbol, how many symbols are transmitted, it's called baud rate. And a symbol has more than 1 bits. So bit rate and baud rate is different. You got the difference? Bit rate means number of bits per second, and baud rate means number of symbols per second. And a symbol can contain more than 1 bits. समझ आ गई बात आपको? baud rate और bit rate का डिफरेंस क्लियर हो गया? जी, किसी को bit rate और baud rate ये नहीं समझ रहे तो पूछते हैं, क्योंकि ये बार बार डिस्कशन आएगी bit rate और baud rate.
सर दोबारा बता दें.
जी, bit rate जिसका नाम से आपको पता चल रहा है, bit rate means number of bits per second. 1 bit is 1, another bit is 0. So if you are transmitting 1, 0, 2 bits per second, the bit rate will be 2 bits per second. But baud rate means number of signaling elements. Signaling element means an element which has more than 1 bits. For example, a symbol can have 4 bits, 5 bits. So baud rate will be different and bit rate will be different. Bit error rate is important in digital signal. Whenever we define a signal, we have to define its bit error rate, the probability that one of the bits is in error, or simply the probability of error. Yes, classification of signals. Now, how we define analog signals? We are talking about analog signals. What type of signals exist for analog signals? Number 1, डिटर्मिनिस्टिक एंड रैंडम सिग्नल. अब ये कुछ सिग्नल की टाइप्स हैं, ठीक है. ये आपने सिग्नल की टाइप्स समझनी है ताकि आपको जब सिग्नल की टाइप, किसी खास टाइप की बात की जाए, तो आपको पता हो कि ये कौन सा सिग्नल है. जी, एनीवन जिसने प्रोबेबिलिटी पहले पढ़ी हुई है, जिसने क्या कहते हैं स्टोकास्टिक पढ़ा हुआ है, कैन यू डिफाइन व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन डिटर्मिनिस्टिक एंड रैंडम सिग्नल? Does anyone know the difference between deterministic and random signal. Deterministic, from the name, what does it say? Yes, Asim, what does the word deterministic say?
Yes, sir. The deterministic if three is not incorrectly with respect to its value at any instance of any time. Okay.
Yes, deterministic, determine, you can determine it.
Yeah.
You can
If there is
tell
no
about its
uncor-
value.
if there is no incorrect centrally with respect to its value at any instance of time.
Yes, simply in simple words, the signal whose values are deterministic is called deterministic signal. You can tell about its values, whereas a random signal changes its value. You cannot predict or you cannot tell about its values. Got the point? Deterministic and random.
Yes, sir.
Deterministic means you can determine its value. For example, I am saying cos 10t. You can determine the value of 5 cos 10t, for example, at time is equal to 2 seconds. You can determine it or not? Yes, you can determine it. But if I say that a signal is random, it means that its value cannot be determined. Its value keeps changing, and you cannot tell about, say, about its value at a particular time, particular instant. Okay, you got the point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A signal is random means that there is some degree of uncertainty before the signal actually occurs. It's uncertain. Random waveforms, random processes, when examined over a long period, may exhibit certain regularities that can be described in terms of probabilities and statistical averages. So, the course of probability or stochastics is basically how to examine, how to analyze a random signal. You can analyze a random signal by using, for example, its probabilities and statistical averages. Next type of signal type is periodic and non-periodic. Very easy. If a signal repeats itself after a particular time, it is called periodic. And if a signal does not repeat itself after a particular time, it is called non-periodic. Mathematically, we can write as x of t. If it repeats itself after a certain period t naught, then t naught is the period, and the signal x is called periodic, where t naught is its period. Analog and discrete signal, we have already discussed about in detail. Analog signal and discrete signal. Analog signal is a continuous function of time, whereas discrete signal is only that exists at discrete times. So this is related to the time index. Yes, energy and power signal. The performance of a communication system depends on the received signal energy. Higher energy signals are detected more reliably with fewer errors than our lower energy signal. If a signal has higher energy, we can easily detect it, for example, at a longer distance. Its energy will be so much high that you can correctly detect it. So energy is important for a signal. X of t, any signal, is classified as an energy signal if and only if it has non-zero but finite energy. This is the formula of energy. Energy formula: Ex is equal to limit t tends to infinity integral minus t by 2 to t by 2 x square of t dt. Whenever you find this equation, you solve it. If it is finite and non-zero, then that energy, that type of signal is called an energy signal. So an energy signal has finite energy but zero average power. The average power will be zero. This is the thumb rule. If the signal has zero average power and finite energy, it is an energy signal. Now examples: signals that are both deterministic and non-periodic. Deterministic means you can tell about its value, and non-periodic. Non-periodic means it is a time limited signal, does not keep on repeating itself. These types of signals are called energy signal. It is not an infinite signal. Power, what is power? Power is the rate at which energy is delivered. You can see power is 1 over t integral minus t by 2 to t by 2 x square of t. So you can find the power of a signal x by using this relation. Simply divide the energy by time. You can see you are dividing the energy by time, you get power. A signal is defined as a power signal if and only if it has finite but non-zero power. So power is finite but non-zero. The thumb rule is power signal has finite average power but infinite energy. So any signal which has finite energy, it is called a energy signal, and a signal which has infinite energy but finite average power, it is called a power signal. As a general rule, periodic signals and random signals are classified as power signals. So it's important. Deterministic and non-periodic signals are energy signals, whereas periodic and random signals are power signals. Whenever you see a periodic signal, you can say that it has infinite energy and finite average power. जी यहाँ तक क्लियर है? किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन तो नहीं है? Any questions? Any
Can
questions
you
till
repeat
now?
the question, sir?
जी पूछें, क्या पूछें? जी क्या कहा आपने?
No, no, sir. Okay.
सॉरी आपकी आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही मुझे. अच्छा, मुझे आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही. अगर आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है तो काइंडली इसको पूछिए, वरना हम आगे चलते हैं. यूनिट इम्पल्स फंक्शन, just to revise, Dirac delta function represents an impulse function, an infinitely large amplitude pulse with zero pulse width and unity area concentrated at the point where its argument is zero. We can write it as integral of an impulse is equal to 1. An impulse is zero when time is not zero. For example, if I draw it, this is time axis. At t is equal to 0, the impulse has an infinite value, and delta of t is bounded at t is equal to 0. There is a property which is called shifting or sampling property. It states that whenever a signal is multiplied by an impulse, you see delta of t minus t naught is an impulse which is shifted at t naught. Let's say we have an impulse which is shifted at t naught. If you multiply this impulse with a signal x of t, then what we get? We get x at that instant where the impulse was placed. The impulse was placed at t naught, so we get the signal x of t naught. Okay, this is called shifting or sampling property. समझ आ गई shifting और sampling property? जब भी आप किसी सिग्नल को impulse से मल्टीप्लाई करें, फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस इज अ सिग्नल x. When you multiply this signal with this impulse, what you get is that you just get value of x at t naught. Okay, got the point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.